Hi everybody and welcome again. It's Lauren here from Acting Classes in Perth. This is episode number 14. Can you believe it? 14 already of the Acting Classes in Perth, your questions answered daily show. The show where I sit down and answer all your acting related questions at 7 p.m. every single day. 7 days a week, 365 days a year here on Facebook Live and YouTube Live simultaneously. If you are watching us, it's an absolute pleasure to have you. Today's question comes in from Sharon, but before we jump into Sharon's question, I think it's time that we roll the intro. Alrighty, so today's question comes into us from Sharon, but before we get to that question, if you are watching us, please give us a big thumbs up. We would love to know you're there. Add a comment or ask a question or simply say hello. I love to know who's out there watching us. Now, we have a question that's come into us today from Sharon, and it's a very common question I get. So, Sharon, ask your question.
Hi Lauren, it's Sharon. I'm just wondering if you can tell me if there's any strategies to overcome my nerves, as that would be really helpful. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Sharon, for sending in your question. It is an amazing question. It's a question that I do get all the time. And for a lot of you who have done a course with us at Acting Classes in Perth, you know that the vast majority of what we teach on top of acting is helping you build your self-confidence, helping you conquer your nerves, be much better at public speaking, and helping you, most importantly, take back control of your life and start to explore and deal with your emotions. And it was such a beautiful question. I think that works really well with what we do. So Sharon, I'm going to put a heck of a lot of effort into the answer of this question because I really want to help you and everyone else out there watching. So firstly, I think it's really important to remember, Sharon, that the more you do something, the easier it's going to become. Yeah. So every single time you get in front of a camera or you get up on a stage or you are in a class or you go and have to do some public speaking at work, or you got to deal with your boss, or you got to confront your partner with something, or help manage something with your partner, or you got to confront a parent or your child, or whatever it is, right? The more you do it, the easier it's going to become. And that's primarily the starting point in which I want to focus on here, right? So the more you do something, the easier it's going to become. Why is that? Well, you're building a relationship to the experience and to the practice. And what's happening in your brain is every time you do it, you're strengthening those neurons, you're strengthening the connections. And so in turn becomes more of a habit. It becomes habitual rather than you having to make it such a conscious thought or a conscious process. It becomes subconscious, and the subconscious takes over the autopilot process of it. So that's really, really important, right? The more you do something, the easier it's going to become. We know that in practice, but how can we do that more, Sharon? Well, fundamentally, what I would say is flood yourself. Every single opportunity you can find in your life, not just in the amazing acting classes that you do with us here, but also everything, right? Like in work, if there's an opportunity to get up in front of an audience or in front of your teammates or fellow staff members and do a presentation, or if there's an opportunity at a wedding to get up and do a speech, or a funeral, or just in your local community or in your church group or in your neighborhood, grab the opportunity, every opportunity, find a way and find as many opportunities, Sharon, as you can to step up and get in front of an audience. It's going to help you flood yourself, find all those opportunities every single day, every single week, as often as you can, right? The more you do that, the easier it's going to become. And then what you also need to do is identify when you are getting up to perform or getting up to speak or be in front of someone or need to help manage the emotions. What you need to do is two things. One, identify what you know, right? What are the facts that you know that you can deliver, that you can talk about, right? And then you also need to identify what are the things that you don't know and you need to work on those, or you need to completely leave them out. Okay, so bringing it back to point number one, what is it that you know? So, if you're getting up to do a sales presentation, you need to know all the facts, you need to know all the information that you need to impart to the people that you're delivering that to the audience that you're delivering that to, Sharon. Now, what I would then say in relation to an acting scene or an audition is you need to know the facts of your character, right? So you need to prepare, you need to prepare. You need to be so prepared. You need to know as much as you can. You can't, in the early days, as a beginner actor, just get up and hope to wing it, right? That is a huge pressure you're putting on yourself, and seldomly does it work. So what I want you to do is get down as much as you can, know what you know, right? So I get up and I work with and talk to and help mentor and coach thousands of people a year, specifically here we're talking about acting classes in Perth, right? So I help thousands of people a year not only explore acting and build their acting skills, but more importantly, help them confront their fears, help them deal with their emotions, help them take back control of their life through the craft of acting, as many of you know if you've done courses with us, right? Now, when I do that, I know what I know. I know the information, the facts, the topics, and everything that surrounds that. I've immersed myself in that for so many years. I've been doing, it for so long with acting classes in Perth now for 12 years. So I know what I know, right? And I make sure I stick to that content. And that way, when I go out there, I'm not nervous anymore because I've made it part of my life. I've really made myself aware. I'm so present. I know what I need to impart with you guys. That it just comes naturally, right? You do it so often because the more you do something, the easier it becomes. Now, the last thing I would like to also throw out to you, Sharon, is you got to find a way for your physiology to connect and communicate with your psychology. And in some respects, your physiology is actually going to help determine your psychology. Now, but what I mean by that is you got to prep yourself. So you're doing that with all the preparation. You know it. You learn, you make sure you are fully prepared, right? And then when you're about to go into that space, take some time out of the room, in your green room, in your dressing room. If you're in a class environment, just step out. If it's before a meeting for work or for some presentation, try to get out of the space before you need to go into that space. And what I want you to do is prime yourself. You're going to use a whole lot of techniques and little things that you can do to help bring your physiology into a place where it's going to match your psychology and in turn start to influence your psychology. So lots of smiling, lots of positive reinforcement, because think about it, when you go to get into a space that you're probably psychologically thinking, I can't do, I'm uncomfortable, I'm new to this, I'm nervous. All that is a negative mindset, a negative expression on yourself. What I want you to do is stop that. You take a moment and you stop it, right? And then you're going to start doing the opposite. You're going to be conscious about it. You're going to make it a moment in which you stop yourself. I want you to start thinking in the opposite way. You've got to make a conscious choice, Sharon, but what you've got to do is flip it around. Now what I want you to do is start smiling, start pushing. And at the beginning, you're going to really have to push these things, right? Push the positive thoughts. Wow, this is such an amazing opportunity. I am so excited for this. I can't wait to get it, right? And if you do these things enough, it starts tricking your mind, I guess you could say, right? Like your psychology becomes influenced by your physiology. So the fact that you are smiling, the fact that you're constantly saying great things, that you're really focused on having a great time, on the fact that if you even screw up, it doesn't matter, right? Because you're going to learn so much about it. It's so incredibly amazing and exciting to be given the opportunity to get in there. Over time, not straight away, but over time, and you need to be consistent with this every single time, right? That it becomes part of your psychology. You're retraining yourself. In turn, if you are someone that goes to that negative, oh my God, I'm afraid, what's going to happen? How are they going to perceive me? What am I going to do when I'm in there? What if I crash? What if I'm not able to deliver? You are reinforcing all these negative neurons, right? All the connections in your brain, neuroplasticity. You want to strengthen the strong, positive connections. And in turn, what often happens is that all that negativity ends up just becoming a habit, right? It becomes habitual. You can change that, I think, and believe, because I've done it myself. It starts starts with the physiology, and you got to prime yourself. You got to get excited. You got to get, moving. If you can find a space where you can run on the spot, yeah, just like run on the spot. Get your body primed, pump a lot of adrenaline in, stay focused, give yourself positive thoughts, positive word actions, not just in the mind, but in the mouth. Let them out, right? Because your mind believes more of what it hears externally rather than internally. So even if you're saying it out, even if you're saying it, your mind is taking that in so much better than you just thinking that in your mind, okay? So Sharon, I am so excited for you moving forward. I want you to use all this information, all these strategies as you progress forward. But on top of that, Sharon, my last thought for you, Sharon, is the following. You were so incredibly nervous when you came in to do your very first level 1 acting class with us. I could see it in your face. You got up, you even said, like, I'm terrified. And then what happened, Sharon, is the scene took place and you immersed yourself in the moment. You became present to your character, and that is so beautiful. It was amazing watching you do that, because what happened is you started to lose yourself. You started to lose all those negative thoughts, all that fear and anxiety, and started to take on the emotions of the character, right? And at the end, you were so kind of blown away. You had this moment where you thought, oh my gosh, all my fears and thoughts and anxiety and nerves and all this negative, right, it went. And I was consumed by being in the moment. And that's exactly what acting is. Being present and being in the moment. And at the end, you debrief that, right? So you look back and you think, okay, how did I get there? And all that priming and all that prepping and all the, physiology pushing the psychology, it doesn't end the moment you step in. It continues during, it continues after, and as you debrief your performance or how you went, and you continue that going, and you make that a part of your new habits, of your new personality, and of your psychology. Sharon, I know that you have achieved so much already, even after just doing a level 1 and another level with us. It's an absolute pleasure watching you grow and develop, like it is with all of our students. So thank you so much for trusting in us. It's been a pleasure. I'm super excited to see you in the future and see how we can continue to help you grow, not just with your acting, but also in your life. Now, finishing off, if you liked Sharon's question, please help out a fellow actor and share it. Click the share button. If you are watching us on Facebook, be sure to like and follow our page. If you're watching us on YouTube, simply click the subscribe button, and then be sure to click the notifications bell also next to it so that you stay updated with all of the videos as they become available. And finally, if you are listening to us on iTunes, well, all you got to do is click subscribe and we will keep you updated. Now, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to see you tomorrow again at 7 p.m. for another awesome question answered by me. I'm Lauren. This is Acting Classes in Perth. Thank you so much. Until I see you again soon, like always, stay safe and happy acting.